Okay, so we're getting ready to make a date and nut crust. Pie crusts are the easiest things to make in raw foods. It's just so much easier than a cooked pie crust. It's crazy easy. And for this, we're going to use walnuts, almonds, dates, and just a dash of salt. That's it. Quick and easy. Now, I'm going to be demonstrating today how to make a strawberry cheesecake and a pumpkin pie. And this crust is excellent in both of those. So I'm going to double the recipe so I have enough for the pie crust for my pumpkin pie and for the base of my strawberry cheesecake. Almost every pie can be done in this crust, and everybody loves this crust. It's so good and it's so simple, and it's just the most versatile one of all. So the actual recipe for one pie crust is 1 cup almonds, 1 cup walnuts, half a cup of dates, and a dash of salt. So since we're making two things, we're going to double it. We're going to put in 2 cups of walnuts, 2 cups of almonds, and 1 cup of dates. And since we have a large industrial food processor, which we're blessed to have because we're able to film here at Rawlicious, and much thanks for that, we're going to do it all in one, then just split it into the 2 crusts, just to save a little bit of time. So first thing, I've had my almonds soaking in the fridge overnight, like I usually do. And I'm going to drain those. I'm just going to put them in a bowl to bring them back over. Food processor, I'm just going to put in 2 cups of almonds, and I'm going to put 2 cups of walnuts. Now I haven't soaked my walnuts. You can soak them before using them, and it's probably healthier if you do soak them before, but it makes them a little bit wet. So if you do soak them, just make sure you towel dry them quite well before making the pie crust. Also, if they're very watery, you can always put them in the dehydrator for a little bit to dry them off. Even after the crust is made, put the pie crust in the whole pan in the dehydrator while you're making the topping. But a lot of desserts, a lot of people do leave the softer nuts like the walnuts and the pecans not soaked. Ideally, soaking is best. But you can do either. If you're in a rush, this pie crust is still going to be like so much healthier than any cooked version. It's like nuts and dates, all natural. No oils, just natural oil from the walnut. Okay, so 2 cups of walnuts, there's 2 cups of almonds, and 1 cup of dates. I'm using honey dates, but you could use any kind. You could use medjool dates, are beautiful in this also. I happen to have an abundance of honey dates. They're a little bit cheaper too, and they're going to taste absolutely delicious. 1 packed cup of dates. Put those in. I'm going to rinse off my hands. The dates are sticky. And just a tiny dash of salt. Sometimes salt just brings out the flavor in things, so it's not enough that it's salty at all. It's like that was 1/2 so it's almost nothing, totally indistinguishable, but it really does help bring out the flavor. So now, the main thing with doing the crust is getting the right texture. You don't want to leave it processing too much so that it's forming a ball and gets totally sticky. But you want it processed enough so that you don't have real chunks of nuts when you chew into it. There's a fine balance here. So it's nice we have these cameras to show you exactly how to do this. I've done this so many times, I can pretty much put it on and do it until it's done. That's just because I've had so much practice with it. What I'm going to do is I need my spatula. I'm just going to make sure everything's down. I'm going to show you what it's like now. It's very crumbly. We definitely want it processed more. There's still even a few whole dates. But I'm going to show you a really good consistency for this. So now I'm going to pulse chop it. I'm just going to hold the pulse and just keep an eye on it. Until we get the right consistency. And usually when the top starts falling in, shortly after that it's going to be just right. It's starting to, I can see it falling in, it's kind of going sideways around. It's almost there. See it's going sideways around? Perfect. That's all there is to it. How easy is this? It's crazy. So you still have like little bits of nuts and seeds and dates, but it really holds together very, very well. So you can shape things out of it. This is really fun for kids, like so easy. Kids can do it, they can play in it, tastes good, it's good for them, it's good for all of us. It's just win-win situation. And I've got my pie crust, and I'm going to put half of it into my pie crust to get ready to make the pumpkin pie. About half. And we're just going to press it into the bottom of our pie plate. You can use coconut oil in the bottom if you want, but it's really not necessary. It's going to come out just fine the way it is. If you want yeah, no, it's going to be totally fine, just like this. The walnuts have a lot of oil in them, and when you process it, the oil comes out. So there's really no need to oil this crust. I never do, and I always have a lot of success serving it. Okay, so just keep working it all the way around, pressing in the edges, gently working it up the sides. It's such a quick process, it's so easy to make, so spending an extra minute or two just getting it placed perfectly is worth a big piece. I'll take that out. There. I love pumpkin pie. You can make amazing raw pumpkin pie. It's incredible. It's so much like the cooked one. It's great. I ran into a friend not long ago who had my pumpkin pie over a year ago. And the first thing she said to me is, "Oh, Robin, I keep thinking of that pumpkin pie. I can't get it out of my head." And she's a total cook foodist, and she loves cooked pumpkin pie, and this is like a beautiful alternative. So there we have one perfectly formed, pretty much perfectly formed crust, waiting our pumpkin pie filling.